At the party, an elderly woman gazed at the man with deep emotion. She slipped a gold watch into his hand.
Back to me.
Before he could react, she quickly turned and walked away. The man, realizing he didn't know her, simply assumed she was just some strange old lady. But what he didn't know was that as the woman got back in her car, tears were already streaming down her face. It was as if she had finally fulfilled a lifelong wish. She returned to the hotel she had waited at for 62 years, locked herself in the room, and peacefully passed away with the man's newly finished script in her hands. 8 years flew by. Richard had become a well-known screenwriter, but lately, he'd hit a creative block. To break through it, he decided to get out and search for inspiration. As he drove past the old hotel, a powerful sense of familiarity washed over him. He instinctively turned the car around. Richard checked in, and the manager, Arthur, led him to his room. After settling in, Richard wandered into an exhibition hall. He found himself drawn to one particular photo. He was instantly captivated by the woman in the picture. Richard immediately found Arthur, who had worked there for years. Arthur told him the woman's name was Elise. She had been a brilliant stage actress, and her final performance had taken place right here. Over the next few days, Richard became obsessed, spending hours just staring at the photo. For some reason, she looked incredibly familiar. Finally, after yet another sleepless night, Richard found a magazine featuring an interview with Elise. When he opened it and saw her elderly photo, he froze. It was the same woman who gave him the gold watch 8 years ago. He couldn't calm his racing thoughts. Richard started to suspect that he and Elise shared some forgotten past. So he tracked down the magazine's author. But when he explained why he was there, the author tried to shut the door in his face. At the last second, Richard pulled out the gold watch.
Where did you get that?
Well, she gave it to me, ma'am.
Watch was very precious to her. She never left it out of her possession. Disappeared the night she died.
She died that night?
Once inside, the author told Richard that Elise had once been lively and headstrong, completely different from how she was in her later years, and everything seemed to change after 1912. That was the year of her final performance. No one ever knew exactly why. During the conversation, Richard noticed a familiar book. It was written by one of his college professors, titled Time Travel Theory.
She read that book over and over.
Richard opened the music box on the table. As a familiar tune played, he froze in place. It was his favorite melody. With all these strange coincidences piling up, Richard was now convinced there had to be a connection between him and Elise, and the only way to know the truth was to meet Elise in person. He found his old college professor, and using his advice, went to a coin shop and bought currency from 1912, then dressed himself in period clothing and lay down on the bed. No one knows how much time passed, but after failing again and again, Richard was close to giving up. He looked at Elise's photo on the wall, frustrated and disheartened. Just when he was about to quit, a guest registry in a display case caught his attention. Richard suddenly had an idea. He rushed to Arthur's room in the middle of the night and asked where the 1912 registry was stored. With hope and nervous excitement, Richard flipped through the book, and there it was. His name, alongside the exact date Elise had checked in. Now more determined than ever, he returned to the room and tried again. When he opened his eyes, the room had completely changed. After some searching, he finally found Elise